So now we slide over to the next bit of wrestling news with us starting with unfortunate news from The Guardian and also various news outlets that are reporting apparently Vice Media, which is the parent company of the Vice television network. Vice is known for such documentary style programming as Dark Side of Wrestling, Dark Side of Football, Dark Side of Comedy, Dark Side of the 90s. You see a common thread here. But according to The Guardian and various news outlets, Vice, the global news publisher and TV company that was once valued at nearly $6 billion, is reportedly close to filing for bankruptcy. The company, whose assets include Vice News, Motherboard, Refinery 29, and Vice TV, has been involved in sales talks with at least 5 companies in an attempt to avoid filing for bankruptcy, according to the New York Times. Again, this is from The Guardian. Last week, the company, which has been evaluating its future since plans to float using a special purpose acquisition vehicle collapsed 2 years ago, announced it was canceling its popular Vice News tonight as a part of restructuring that could result in more than 100 staff being redundant. I mean, this is unfortunate for, of course it is unfortunate for the people that work there, but it is also unfortunate for fans of Vice programming because Vice has been, before the advent of Dark Side of the Ring, I would say I didn't even know the Vice television network existed because, honestly, with how television works for me, I really didn't pay attention to independent networks like Vice because Vice is one of the independent networks. And according to, again, The Guardian, Vice, which had hit a valuation of $5.7 billion in 2017, as media giants including Rupert Murdoch, WPP, and Disney clamored for a slice of its youth appeal, has been seeking a sale price tag at about $1.5 billion. The fact that there is interest is good. The one thing you just don't know is if they do sell, would that see a drastic change in programming, or would the potential buyer see what the company has as, what makes Vice and not want to change it. If a sale cannot be agreed on, suitors are said to be seeking a sub $1.1 billion deal. A bankruptcy process would result in Vice continuing to operate normally with an auction while an auction process is run. Vice Media Group has been engaged in a comprehensive evaluation of strategic alternatives and planning, the company said in a statement. The company, its board, and its stakeholders continue to be focused on finding the best pathway for the company. This is actually interesting. Vice began as a punk magazine in Montreal almost 3 decades ago, expanded into digital media and striking TV deals with companies including Sky and HBO. So I didn't even know. Again, it's not surprising that I didn't necessarily know what Vice was before the advent of Dark Side of the Ring. But with Dark Side, and me being somebody that also watched Dark Side of the 90s and also Dark Side of Comedy, I've become a fan of the dark side. I mean, a fan of um, Vice TV, and also Tales from the Territory, which was also on Vice. It would be very unfortunate losing all that great content. I mean, and an independent media company. So I will keep you guys up to date on what's happening with that, especially considering the fact that as of, I believe it was last week, Dark Side of the Ring, the hit Vice television show, will be returning for another season at the end of May. I believe it's. Would it be May? I think it's I think it's Double or Nothing week. I think it's Double or Nothing week, which I can't, but I can't remember offhand. Is it May 30th? Maybe. I think it's May 30th when season 4 premieres for Dark Side of the Ring. But either way, I mean, I hope that means that we could see more than. I mean, I don't know what the future holds then for Dark Side of the Ring. I don't know what the future holds for Dark Side of the 90s or any of the other shows prevalent on Vice. But either way, I will keep you guys up to date on this when I know more. Let's jump to something else, as WWE was the initial plan, the initial decision for WWE to unify the titles was actually brought into the forefront last year when Roman went down with a positive test for COVID, and then the decision was made to bring Brock Lesnar in for the and make the world title match that night a fatal 5-way. But I mean, basically, Roman's positive COVID test on day one resulted in Brock becoming a part of the Fatal 5-Way, and apparently that night is when they decided to do the unification match at WrestleMania. How they jumped from one side to the other and how it all makes sense, I don't understand, but apparently the unification match was a decision they made back in January of 2022, and it wasn't something that they made, even with how the WWE title was thrown around back and forth up till WrestleMania. It still wasn't the plan. Still was the plan, a unification match, as of day one in January. How they jumped from one side to the other, I don't understand, but we're back to having two titles, and apparently the original plan, as you guys know, because we talked about it in the news videos, was for Cody to verse Drew or Seth at WrestleMania with the world title, with the WWE Championship on the line. It is unclear, according to Fightful, both these reports are according to Fightful, the decision to unify the titles being made as of day one, and the Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes story were both found out by Fightful. That plan changed, I would guess, when The Rock was not able to compete at WrestleMania. But now we move to the news that I'm sure a lot of people are clamoring for, or were clamoring for, as pre-sale for AEW All In went on sale yesterday, and now the official ticket sales were announced, or the official reports were announced for what I I honestly don't know what to say with it because I am dumbfounded. But I also would touch on I do want to touch on the fact that AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are done, because as of right now they are not continuing due to an exclusivity with AEW, a new exclusivity clause with AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery that will see Collision soon debut on Saturdays. And this could likely see AEW show up on the Discovery's streaming service. The network, the idea does not include. I mean, the current agreement does not include Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor is separate from AEW, but it includes all AEW content as Warner Brothers Discovery has. Warner Brothers Discovery has apparently an exclusivity clause, which explains why they got pulled from Fight.tv and which explains why they got pulled from Fight.tv and YouTube. But shifting over to AEW and the bigger news, the pre-sale for Wembley. The reason why I was looking there. The reason why I went radio silent is because I did not know where. I wanted to see if I could find out when the regular tickets went on sale. Oh, I didn't even see it. According to Fightful, regular tickets to the general public go on sale on Friday. So they have 36,000 tickets already sold to the general already sold on pre-sale for with a live gate. According to F4W Online, which is Wrestling Observer, 36,000 tickets, 4.7 million in revenue during the Tuesday pre-sale for August's All-In event at Wembley. This is the largest ever attendance and single gate, and it's before a match was announced. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane, especially considering the fact that a number of news outlets are now reporting that AEW could crack 40,000 before the end of the day. And according to Tony Khan, as of 12/14, as of today, the initial report of 36,000 sold for a total of 4.7 in revenue was made at 4:04 on May 2nd, yesterday. A report today from Tony Khan and followed up by Fightful. AEW All-In continues to move tickets. They have topped over 43,000 people in only 32 hours of pre-sale. Into the pre-sale, 43,000 people have bought tickets for over 4.5 million euros or 4.5 million pounds and $5.7 million for AEW. That is absolutely insane, and this is before any matches were announced and before tickets were available to the general public. Props to AEW, props to Tony Khan. It is what a time to be a wrestling fan that AEW is now not taped off at 40,000 fans, and this proves that they are not taped off at 40,000 fans. We will keep you guys up to date on anything and everything that happens with AEW, and I will do an exclusive video once they pass 50,000. I will let you guys know when they pass 50,000, whether it's in a news video or a separate video individually. I will let you guys know when they pass 50,000 fans, but it's entirely possible at the pace they are going, today or tomorrow could be when that happens. With that being said, though, that is it for the news. Once again, congratulations to AEW, and I do hope that they are celebrating tonight on Dynamite, as once again 43,000 people have topped over 43,000 tickets for $5.7 million in revenue for Wembley Stadium, and this is even before the tickets are available for the general public, which happens on May 5th. With that being said, though, that is it for the news, and I will see you in the next one.